62 miles. That's it. Not to another city. Not to another country. Not even to the edge of the atmosphere. 62 miles straight up, and you are no longer truly on Earth. You could drive that distance in about an hour. You could jog part of it in a week. Commercial airplanes fly at roughly 6 miles high, barely a tenth of the way there. And yet, beyond that invisible altitude known as the Kármán line, the rules change completely. Above 62 miles, the air is too thin for wings, too sparse to breathe, too weak to behave like air at all. Above this line, you are not falling through sky anymore. You are orbiting a planet. Outer space is not far away. It is frighteningly close. This documentary is not about rockets or astronauts or distant galaxies, at least not at first. This is about a vertical journey, a straight line from your feet, planted firmly on Earth, to the beginning of the cosmic ocean that surrounds us all. Because when you truly understand how close space is, Earth will never feel the same again. Stand outside. Look up. The sky feels endless. Blue fading into lighter blue. Then pale. Then something you can't quite describe. Clouds float like continents. Birds carve paths through air. Planes leave white scars that slowly dissolve. It all feels continuous, like one unbroken system. But it's not. As you rise higher, the atmosphere changes in layers, each one unfamiliar, hostile, and precise. At around 6 miles, commercial jets cruise comfortably, sealed in metal tubes, pressurized like underwater submarines. Outside, temperatures plunge below freezing. Your blood would boil without protection. But still, this is not space. At 12 miles, weather ends. Storms cannot climb higher. The sky darkens to a deep navy blue even at noon. The horizon begins to curve subtly, whispering a truth our brains resist. At 30 miles, you are above 99% of Earth's atmosphere. The sky is almost black. The sun burns harsh and unfiltered. You are closer to the stars at midday than most humans will ever be, and yet still not space. The final stretch to 62 miles is strange. Air molecules are so sparse they behave less like a fluid and more like individual bullets. Aerodynamics begin to fail. Control surfaces stop working. The idea of flying loses meaning. Then, silently, without ceremony, you cross an imaginary line. The Kármán line. No gate, no warning, no sound. One moment you are above Earth. The next, you are part of space. The Kármán line is not a wall. It is a compromise, named after aerospace engineer Theodore von Karman. The line marks the altitude where an aircraft would need to travel at orbital velocity to generate enough lift to stay aloft. Below it, wings matter. Above it, speed replaces lift. Physics redraws the rules. This boundary exists because humans needed definitions. Who is an astronaut? Where does national airspace end? At what altitude does sovereignty dissolve into silence? International treaties needed a number. Engineers needed a reference. Historians needed a line to point at. So we chose 62 miles. Not because something magical happens there, but because beyond that point, the Earth stops holding you up. Gravity still grips you. Strongly, relentlessly. But the atmosphere can no longer cradle you. If you don't move fast enough, you fall. If you move sideways fast enough, you miss the ground entirely. That is orbit. Outer space is not the absence of gravity. It is the art of falling forever. And that art begins shockingly close to home. We imagine space as far away because our minds evolved on flat ground. Horizons feel distant. Mountains feel unreachable. The moon looks impossibly remote. But vertical distance does not feel real to a brain wired for survival on plains and forests. 62 miles straight up is closer than many road trips. Los Angeles to San Diego is farther. Delhi to Jaipur is farther. London to Manchester is farther. And yet, one takes you to another city. The other takes you off the planet. This illusion shapes everything we believe about exploration. We treat space as an unreachable frontier, while ignoring how thin the skin of our world really is. Earth's atmosphere, protecting all life that has ever existed, is thinner relative to the planet than the peel of an apple. Peel it away and Earth is naked. No blue sky, no breathable air, No shield from radiation, just rock, water, and fire drifting through a lethal vacuum. Standing 62 miles above sea level, Earth would look complete beneath you, continents intact, oceans whole, no visible borders, no evidence of nations, just one fragile world wrapped in a fading glow. And below that glow, everything we've ever loved. Only a handful of humans have ever crossed a Kármán line. Astronauts strapped to rockets, pilots riding experimental spacecraft, each one trained for years to survive a journey that lasts minutes, because space does not forgive mistakes. At that altitude, pressure drops so low that exposed bodily fluids begin to boil, not from heat, but from physics. Oxygen vanishes. Temperature swings violently between sunlight and shadow. Radiation slices through DNA. Time itself begins to behave differently. Yet, humans go anyway. Why? Because 62 miles is not just a distance. It is a temptation. It whispers that the universe is not locked away, that the stars are not unreachable gods. That exploration is still possible. When astronauts look back at Earth from just beyond that line, many experience something profound. A shift, a fracture in perception. They call it the overview effect. Borders vanish. Conflicts seem absurd. Earth feels precious, fragile, temporary. Some cry. Some go silent. Some return changed forever. Because crossing into space doesn't make you feel powerful. It makes you feel small. Outer space begins 62 miles above your head. It begins closer than clouds, closer than weather, closer than you think. Every night, when you look up, you are staring at a boundary that could be crossed in less time than it takes to binge a TV series. A threshold between survival and silence, between humanity and infinity. The universe is not far away. It presses against us constantly, held back only by a thin veil of air and gravity's embrace. One failed system, one miscalculation, one step too high without protection, and Earth lets go. And yet, that same closeness is an invitation. It tells us that we are not trapped, that curiosity still has room to climb, that the distance between us and the cosmos is not measured in light years, but in courage. 62 miles. The smallest giant distance humanity has ever known. Look up. You are closer to space than you ever realized. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed exploring the wonders of our universe, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends who love the stars too. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a journey through the cosmos. Keep looking up and stay curious.